I'm Emily, 27. Standing in the middle of a room filled with stunned relatives, I feel a strange sense of calm wash over me. The air is thick with tension, and the silence is only broken by the soft rustling of papers. My parents, once so confident in their manipulation, now sit frozen as their elaborate web of lies begins to unravel. It all started a few weeks ago when I came home from a grueling 12-hour shift at the hospital. I was exhausted, every muscle in my body aching, but I knew my little sister Lily would be hungry. As I rummaged through the freezer for something quick to cook, my dad's voice called me into the dining room. His tone carried that false calm that always preceded trouble. When I entered the room, I found my parents sitting at opposite ends of the rectangular oak table, papers spread out between them. Lily was in her wheelchair, looking down at her hands. My dad motioned for me to sit and then slid a document towards me. It was a caregiver agreement, stating that I was to cash out my retirement savings and contribute a large sum of money every month towards Lily's care. I was shocked. They said it was because I was the one responsible for Lily's accident 11 years ago. I remembered that day like it was yesterday. I was 16 and Lily was 14. They'd always told me that I'd chosen to play with neighborhood kittens instead of walking her to the bus stop. As a result, she missed her bus, tried to catch it at the next stop, and got hit by a car. It was my fault, or so I'd believed all these years. I asked for time to think, but they threatened to tell everyone at the hospital and our church community that I was abandoning my responsibility. The thought of the shame and disappointment was unbearable, but something inside me snapped. I refused to sign the papers and locked myself in my room. In a moment of desperation, I called an old friend, Ava, a lawyer. She listened to my story and then asked me a question that changed everything. Have you ever seen the actual police report from Lily's accident? I realized I hadn't. All these years, I just accepted what my parents told me. Ava managed to get hold of the police report. When I saw it, my world shattered. The report stated that Lily was on a motorcycle with a 17-year-old boy named Ethan miles away from where I was playing with the kittens. They were trying to beat a yellow light when they collided with a truck. My parents had lied to me from the beginning. They'd constructed this narrative to make me feel guilty and to control me. Ava dug deeper and found out that they were in financial trouble. My grandmother had left me a sum of money after her death, which my parents had borrowed for Lily's medical expenses, but in fact, Lily's care was covered by insurance. They'd also made me choose a nursing career, which paid less than the engineering career I'd originally planned, so that they could have more control over my income. We started gathering more evidence. I reached out to Ethan, and he confirmed the whole story. He'd been too scared to speak up back then because my parents had threatened to press charges against him for endangering a minor. My aunt, who worked at the hospital when Lily was brought in, also came forward with what she'd overheard my parents saying in the trauma room. My parents, realizing that I was onto them, hired a well-known family support attorney and escalated the situation. They even called the hospital to make false accusations against me, trying to ruin my career. But with Ava by my side and all the evidence we'd collected, I was able to clear my name at the hospital. Today, we're at this family meeting that my parents had set up to pressure me into signing the caregiver agreement. They'd invited relatives, church elders, and their lawyer, thinking they could use public pressure to make me comply. But I was ready. When the right moment came, I introduced Ava and a journalist, Max, who'd been helping me with the investigation. I also brought my aunt, who stood by my side to support the truth. As I presented the evidence to everyone, the room fell silent. My parents' carefully constructed lies began to crumble. Lily finally spoke up, sobbing as she admitted that she'd been too scared to tell the truth all these years. She'd skipped the bus to ride with Ethan and let me take the blame. I hugged her, telling her that there was nothing to forgive. We were both victims. The church elders and relatives were shocked and angry at my parents' deception. The church board promised to investigate the misuse of the funds raised for Lily's treatment. My parents, now isolated and defeated, sat there in silence as their power over me vanished. As the meeting ended, I felt a weight lift off my shoulders. The truth had set us free. Lily and I were starting over, with a new sense of hope and a community that now supported us. I knew that the road ahead wouldn't be easy, but I was ready to face it, no longer burdened by the lies of the past.